honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
There were plenty of memorable moments from last night's presidential primary debate in Simi Valley, California.
7 Republican hopefuls faced off for a second time. Even without President Trump there in person, he was still addressed by the candidates, though.
Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
First Donald Duck reference of the campaign cycle. Some say the winner of last night's messy debate may have been the former president himself, even though he wasn't on stage.
Let's bring in King 5 political analyst and former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna to talk more about this debate. Rob, did you feel like there was a clear winner last night?
No, I didn't really think so. I think they were all scrambling to reinforce their positions, but I don't think there were any real breakthrough moments.
7 candidates on stage. Rob, did the debate make one bit of difference? I want to pull up the latest poll, NBC News poll, showing the former president still in a commanding lead of this race right now. 59% of those polled suggest he's the one they want to be the next president or the next nominee. That gap is widening. What do you make of this? And what do you make of how these candidates are going after Donald Trump right now?
Well, I think it's notable that former President Trump's numbers are growing. His lead is expanding. I'm a little surprised to see Republican voters coalesce around him at this level already. On the other hand, he's the former president. He gets a ton of media attention, and Joe Biden is really quite unpopular. So I think the other candidates are struggling to deliver a message to voters to persuade them to switch over. And frankly, their hits on Trump last night were pretty soft.
Governor Ron DeSantis coming in second in these polls. Do you think that his performance last night kept him in the second spot, or did Nikki Haley make some waves?
Yeah, Nikki Haley seems to be making some progress, particularly gaining some ground on DeSantis if you look at where she started and where she is now. And so, I think he reinforced his current position by hammering away on his talking points, and that former Governor Haley, again, I think impressed in a number of ways. You could tell, by the way, that she did, the most to help herself in the first debate, that she moved up the most because of the time the other candidates like Tim Scott spent attacking her. So it's always the person who seems to be pulling ahead a little bit who comes under attack at the next debate.
Yeah, also in that poll, Nikki Haley, the only one that would beat President Biden in a hypothetical matchup, too. Interesting to note there. The moderation, of course, kind of questionable last night, frankly, at this debate. What stood out to you the most in this second Republican debate, Rob, compared to the first one?
Yeah, it feels like the moderators are trying a little too hard to manipulate the debaters, and they're trying to make themselves the center of attention more than I would like to see. That moment where the candidates were asked who to vote off the island in a kind of Survivor reference, it just really fell flat.
Yeah, and the whole debate between Ramaswamy and Nikki Haley about TikTok got a little heated as well. Were there any topics that were not covered or addressed that you felt should have been?
They did go after President Biden, but there wasn't much talk about Hunter Biden, about the impeachment inquiry starting today, or about the looming government shutdown. And that surprised me a bit. They did spend fair amount of time talking about the United Auto Workers strike, and in a sign that the Republican Party has become a lot more populist, most of the candidates were pretty careful to either not take sides or side with the workers.
The Trump campaign wants to cancel the future debates. No word on whether that would happen or not. We'll have to keep an eye out on that. Former Attorney General and our King 5 political analyst Rob McKenna up early with us this morning. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate your perspective.
Pleasure. Thank you.